everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of our online mixing and mastering course. For this episode, we are going to be discussing reverbs and delays. Let's get into it. So, think of reverb and delay as the 3D aspect of your mix. So, it deals with its space, dimension, and depth for your mixes. So, what exactly is reverb? Reverb is the natural reflection of sound in a particular space. It occurs when sound uh, reflects off surfaces, walls, and comes to our ears at slightly different times. So it then creates a sense of depth and space. I hope you understand. And then delay, on the other hand, is basically the same thing as reverb. The major difference is timing. The timing for delay is long enough for the sound to be distinct, right? So it's like when you're on top of a mountain and you shout your name, and then it bounces off and you hear name, 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 and it sounds all spooky. That's delay, because the timing is late enough for you to be able to detect it with your ears. While reverb is the timing is so close that it just sounds like a really long tail of your whatever you said, just of the sound you made, just taking up space, like taking up time, right? So the major difference between reverb and delay is timing. So we have two major types of reverb here. We have algorithmic reverb, and then we have the convolution reverb. Basically, algorithmic reverbs makes use of math and digital algorithms to simulate, I would say, spaces, rooms, halls, and stuff like that. Digital, mix of all this digital programming to simulate spaces, while convolution reverb makes use of real spaces, makes use of impulse responses from actual spaces. So it's like someone takes this room and then measures how sound interacts with this room and then makes it digitally available for us to use. So like that means it's a real room. Let's think about this popular hall, Boston Hall. There's the Boston Hall River, which makes how sounds interact in Boston Hall itself. So convolution reverb makes use of real spaces, while algorithmic ones are digital spaces. Could be a room. Algorithmic can simulate a garage, it could be basement, it could be the attic, it can be anywhere, it could be inside of your wardrobe, anywhere. Algorithmic reverbs just simulates different, even spaces that are not real. Like imagine trying to simulate how heaven sounds like. I'm not saying heaven is not real. Or simulating how a dungeon somewhere sounds like simulating underwater. You get what I mean? So we have different kinds of algorithmic reverb. We have the hall reverb, plate reverb, room reverb. So hall reverb is kind of large and spacious, while plate reverb is metallic, it's bright, it's lush. It's usually used for like snares and vocals and probably instruments. And then room reverb is smaller and, would I say, warmer? And usually I feel like room reverbs are used more for drums ish, but everything depends. Like I said, with mixes, with mixing, it all depends on what you are trying to achieve. Some notable examples of algorithmic reverbs are Valhalla Vintage Verb. Ableton's reverb is also an algorithmic reverb, and it's really good. We are going to be trying that really soon. And then Lexicon, there's a Lexicon reverb that is Lexicon 224. That's an algorithmic reverb. And some examples of convolution reverb is Altiverb, and then I think Seventh Heaven is a convolution reverb, and then Waves IR1, that's a kind of convolution reverb. So if you want your sound to sound like it's in a particular place, just send your sound into a convolution reverb, and that's how it works. Some major parameters that we need to consider and understand when it comes to reverbs and delays are: we have the pre-delay, we have decay time, we have reverb time, also called RT60, and then we have early and late reflections. So what is pre-delay time? Pre-delay time is the time that it takes for the delay to set in, pre-delay, for the reverb to set in. And then reverb time is how long it takes for the reverb to die down into silence. That's around minus 60 dB, which is basically inaudible. And then we have early reflections, which is the first few bounces, of the sound off the surfaces of the walls, and late reflection as well. And then for RT60, there's a calculation for it. I just want you to go on your computer right now. Wait, just wait. We are going to get there. We're going to come back to that. For RT60, there's a way you calculate it, but you don't have to learn all of that because it's easier. Just go online and search reverb time. There are websites, applications that allows you to just input your tempo, which is a BPM, and then it calculates reverb time for you, which is one of the reasons why you have to use the right tempo when you are mixing, right? So we are going to look at that very shortly. But right now, let's apply all of these things that we have talked about into our mix. So, like I said before, when you're applying reverbs and delay, it is heavily advised that you send them, like you put it in a send or a written track or a bus or whatever it's called on your DAW. But for Ableton, we call them written tracks, right? Right now, this written track, we are going to delete these ones that we have and create brand new ones. So to create written track, you come Control Alt T, and now we have a written track. So on this written track, we are going to put a reverb on it and then apply. Ableton's reverb is a really good reverb. It's something that I always use. There's not a time that I do not use Ableton reverb. I absolutely love it. So this is Ableton reverb. Let me see. Can I expand this thing a little bit? You guys are going to have to deal with it. This right now. So this is Ableton's reverb, and everything we've been talking about. We have the pre-delay here, we have decay, size, and then reflect, which is early reflections, late reflection. We have diffusion, and we have the dry and wet knob. We also have this filters, this low cut or high cut filters. I would explain why you need those in your mix. I mean, in your mix actually. So for pre-delay, pre-delay is the time it takes for the reverb to set in. Yeah, so we can calculate our pre-delay, size, decay time, everything from RT60. So RT60, let's just come on Chrome here. I just typed in RT60 and then it brought us here. And you can see from this definition measurements of how long it takes for sound to decay in a room. But then that's not what we're here for. We're not here for all of that English. So we are going to look for something. Usually there's one that just comes up on top when I search this, but I can't find that particular one. So let's use this. I think they should be able to calculate that for us. Oh, this is not an app. This is not an app. I thought it was going to app. No, this is not a website that calculates RT60. So let's look for a website that does. You know what? Let me type a little bit more. Calculator, RT60 calculator. Yup. There used to be a website I use. I think it's called Another Producer, but I don't know what happened to them. They're not here right now. So let's just come on here and calculate. I've never used this particular website before, so man, I don't know what the hell is going on this website. Yeah, let's I don't have time for all this. We don't have time for this. Oh yeah, Another Producer. See it, you guys. I was just searching rubbish, but then this is delay and reverb time calculator. Another Producer. You just have to input your BPM into this, and they're going to give you the calculations for your delay time, what you need to set to your delays to. I think this song is 95. Good. So we come on here and we type. What's this? Okay, so I have 95. And that's it, guys. It's as simple as that. Now it's calculated our pre-delay time, our decay time, and our total reverb time for us. So we're going to focus on this pre-delay and decay time. And now you can look at the reverb size. We have hall, large room, small room, tight ambience. So think about when I was saying we have different kinds of reverb. When we have hall reverbs, room, plates. So just this is basically just talking about the size. How large do you want the space you are simulating to be? I would suggest let's just use this. Hall might be too big, small room too small, and then let's just use large room, right? Pre-delay will be 39.47 milliseconds, and this is 2486 milliseconds. So let's get the pre-delay done first. Now let's go back to Ableton and 39. Oh, that's a lot. I'm trying to get as 39-ish as possible. You know what? I'm just going to click on it and type it, right? 39 point something, 0.4. I don't want to go back to check. So 39.4, let's leave it at that. So that's pre-delay. Go back here. What is 2486 milliseconds? Oopsie. Milliseconds live. Yeah. So let's check that, and then but this is in seconds, so 2946 or whatever is, if it's in milliseconds, it will be 2.9 in seconds. So we are going to put this decay time at around 2.9. Okay, I think I'll have to type it again, guys. 2.9. 2.9 seconds, bro. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but we are going to have to move this as manually as it can be to 2.9. Oh god. Okay, if it just goes to, okay, this is close enough. So yeah, that's, and then we are good to go. Mostly those are the two most important parameters that you need to tweak on your reverb to get what you need, and then you have to listen to it to determine if it is what you want. So let's go back to this filter. So basically, applying an EQ to your reverb is important to clean up muddiness. Same reason why we apply EQ directly to our vocals, right? Or to our mix. Let's click on Ableton's EQ right now. EQ 8. Yeah, EQ 8. On your reverb, you might want to apply an EQ. Although this one already has an EQ, so we are going to be deleting this. But for the purpose of explaining and for you understanding, clicking on this, let's change this to a low cut, right? This is what I would do when I'm to my reverb to ensure that it's clean, right? This is you cutting off low ends, cutting off highs, and just maintaining that mid range. So when you send your reverb to wherever you're sending it to, it's going there clean, it's going there smooth. So this is just a way to ensure that your mix is not muddy, because when you are introducing reverb or delays to a mix, it can cause muddiness when it's too much. It can drown out your vocals, right? But with EQ, it ensures that the reflected sound, now the reverbs and delays, they are not drowning out the main vocal. We are not drowning them all in reverberations and resonance. So this is why, let's change this particular one to a high cut. So if I was applying another kind of reverb, I would make use of EQ 8 to do that. But Ableton's EQ already came with their own version of that, which is this, right? So the low cuts, the high cuts, you just have to activate that, shape it whatever way. And then you're good. You're good to go. There are so many other things that you can tweak, like the dry wet knob. You can make this. The dry signal is basically the unprocessed signal, the one that is not yet introduced to reverb, and the wet signal is the reverberated one. So this is the knob for that. You can just tweak this around, but the most important parameter you need to understand is really this pre-delay and the decay time, right? So because we don't need this one right here right now, we are going to just delete that, and now we have our reverb. Now we haven't yet applied this reverb to the sound. We just put it on a send. We are going to create another send, right, and put our delay on it. So we are going to be making use of Ableton stock delay as well. This one. As you can see, Ableton's delay is so fun to use. I promise you, it has these 3 different modes where you have repeat, fade, jump, ping pong, right? And then you have the left and right sync, which means since it's in stereo, it's synced together. If you click on this, that means the left side and the right side, they're going to be going through the same kind of timing, right? So you have this feedback, which is how long do you want that echo to come on. So if you're saying like the name example we use, like name, do you want to come name, no, name, do you get it? So that's what that knob is for, the feedback knob. And then this dry and wet signal is just like the reverb, the dry signal, and then the wet signal, the unprocessed one, and then the processed one. How much of it do you want to apply? You can change this to about 60 depending on how you want it to sound. But for now, let's just put it back on 50 too. Okay, so let's listen to how this sounds without reverb and delay, and then we'll listen to how it sounds when we apply them. Act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. First of all, reverb, right? Let's apply too much. Let's totally like everything 100%. Let's see how it sounds. You act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. So let's slowly dial it back. This is a good way to start as a beginner. When you are applying reverb, delay, or any kind of effect, you can do too much and then slowly bring it back to when it's still obvious but it's not annoying or disturbing. You act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. What made you turn a fool for love? It's not your fight to be sober and suffer. It's not your style to look over your shoulders. It's not your fight to be sober. I think I like it right here. It's not too much, it's not too little. It just puts us in a kind of space, in a kind of vibe. And then let's see how the delay sound. The delay is B, so we'll come on B here and apply. You act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. What made you turn a fool for love? It's not your fight to be so. You see that it's too much. It's just too much. Even after we stop playing, it's still going on and on and on and on. And that's feedback for you. So first of all, let's try on this too. I feel like let's try on this too. Let's see which will sync better. You act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. What made you turn a fool for love? It's not your fight. Let's increase feedback and see what happens. This is to 95. You act a fool. You see? Even after we stopped playing it, you can still hear it going on and on and on and on and on till now. Like right now, it's still going on. So, but then that's how long the reflections stay till they go into silence. That's the feedback knob. We don't want it to stay that long because the song continues playing. If it stays that long, it's going to muddy up the song at some point, right? So let's just dial this back. I think 50 is just fine, or even less. Let's just leave it at this and see how it sounds. You act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. What made you turn a fool for love? It's not your fight to be sober and suffer. It's not your style to look over your shoulders. It's not your fight to be sober. Like you, what did he do? Why do you act a fool for love? It's unlike you. So that's really it with reverb and delay and how to apply them. This delay also has its own filter, so we don't need to apply the extra EQ to make sure our reverb is clean. And also, like I said, it's okay to layer effects, right? On a particular reverb, you can add another reverb. Just, you can add, like, this is an algorithmic reverb, right? So you can add a convolution reverb to it to just, you're tweaking your sound, you're making it a little bit more complex, you're applying just creativity into your sound. And then same thing for delays. Usually for me in a mix, usually I will apply at least two kinds of reverb, either the Seventh Heaven reverb or Valhalla reverb, either the vintage reverb or the plate one. Yeah, so but there is a free Valhalla reverb I would like us to use, right? I think it's called Valhalla Supermassive. Do I have it? That's the question, guys. Do I have the Valhalla Supermassive? Let's check that out. Okay. Okay. I do have the Valhalla Supermassive, and now we've created a new return track. We are going to put that on it. Don't forget, for you to create return track, all you have to do is Ctrl-Alt-T, click on the return track, then click on the effects you want to add on it, and it does this for you. Simple as ABC. Don't forget. So the Valhalla Supermassive is like a mix of both delay and reverb, and it has all these kinds of presets on it, right, that you can choose from. You see, echoes, mode, reverbs, SFX. But let's try these reverbs. Let's just use this, large, you guys, 80s space reverb. Let's try this and see what it gives us. So immediately you choose a new preset, you adjust all of the modes, you adjust your EQ. Mind you, all of this you can just tweak them yourself. You don't have to pick a particular kind of presets, right? Just explore them. You can adjust the delay, the mix, that's the dry wet signal. You can adjust the width and everything. Just enjoy yourself. But then let's see how this sounds right now on our mix. If it sounds good, if it sounds, we're going to retweak it. You act a fool for love. It's unlike you to turn so blue. This is not, it's not just transparent, it adds some kind of saturation to it. It's sharp, right? You act a fool for. Let's reduce it now, because now we're doing too much. It's putting it in a space, and the reverberation is so fat, like it's so rich. So we are going to want to apply this minimally, right? You act a fool for love. Without. It's unlike you to turn so blue. What made you turn a fool? I think he adds some kind of oomph to the sound, like some kind of extra sauce to the sound. I like it. So, like I said, when I'm applying a kind of that doesn't have an EQ or something, I would want to put an EQ. Although this has the EQ, and I can just use it from here, it just doesn't feel enough for me. So I'm going to do like a little bit of more of a low cut here, and then I don't want to do too much high cuts actually, you know. Mm, I would still add EQ8 to this and just EQ the before sending it. I mean, I already sent it, but then to make it cleaner, EQ8, where are you? So let's make this into, I just want to do this. So it pretty much band past, but it pretty, so yeah, this is just a band pass, and then we added it to the, to our, you know, we added to our return track and then sent it. So let's see how it sounds now that we added an EQ. Probably much cleaner. Let's go. You act a fool for love. It's all like you. Let's let's listen to this without the EQ to for cleaning it up. Let's Okay, so let's listen to this without the EQ, right? You act a fool for love. And with the EQ, you act a fool for love. It's so slightly subtle, but it's cleaner, right? So for that's basically everything for reverbs and delays. You would have to explore some more reverb plugins, delay plugins. I would suggest Valhalla plugins. I would suggest a FabFilter reverb plugin. I would also suggest Seventh Heaven Pro. Those are really good reverb plugins that you might want to check out, apart from these ones that Ableton has to offer you. But this Ableton reverb and delay, they are pretty good, right? So check them out, explore, do different things with them. As we are finalizing this mix, we are going to use our reverbs and delays in other ways, but for now, just, you know, enjoy where we are right now and just practice and explore. Another thing I need to mention is that for these different moods, you have to try them out. For example, let's put this on ping pong, and this actually goes like a ping pong, right? Let's listen. Sorry, you've been so confused. You know what? Let's mute this and listen to. I mean, solo rather. Let's solo this and see how it sounds. No fool for love. It's not your fight to be sober. Ping pong bounces like left to right, and it's a really fun thing. Yeah, let's increase this too much and see how the fool for love. There's a delay. It's all like you to turn so blue. Let's increase what the made feedback. You turn a fool for love? If you're with your headphones, you can see it's going left, right, left, right, left, right. And it's just something that is fun. So you might want to try that. Check out the fade option too. That is, you know, a little bit more boring, but you act a fool for love. It's all like you. So usually I would just put this on repeat mode, ping pong, because it's fun, and then have my dry wet signal here, depending on what I want, basically, depending on what the song needs. That's how much I adjust this. I think I would want my wet signal to be a little bit over 50. You act a fool for love. It's all like you to turn so blue. What made you turn a fool for love? It's not your fight to be sober and suffer. It's not your style to look over your shoulders. It's not your fight. So, another fun thing to do with your reverb is automation. But I didn't want to go like way too deeply into automation, but I would just use, I'm going to show you a really small part Now let's say we come on this part of the song.
Fight to be sober and suffer.
You see that it's not a fight to be sober and suffer. We might want to automate the end of that, the suffer and sober, just the far and the bar, right? We might just want to automate that part alone to have extra delays, but we don't want to put all of that delay in the song. There's a way to do it. So all you have to do is come on here. That's the automation button for Ableton. And then it's on main vocal, right? What we want to automate is here. So you come under lead vocal, and then you come under here and pick what you want to automate. Right now we want to automate this delay, right? So we pick on B, delay, for the delay. And we are using lead vocal because this is where we applied our reverb, delays, and stuff. If we came on our main vocals and applied directly to our main vocal, then this is where we would come to automate. So right now we are trying to just automate these parts, yeah? So so you see this line that is on here, that's where you work on. So you come on here, you click it. Another one. See, that means we've increased the delay around this part. That means the delay is going to be higher. So let's just play it. You get what I'm saying from hearing it rather than me explaining. You hear that the delay goes on for that part because you automated it for it to work at that particular part. So, and suffer. So that is how to automate your delay. And also, this automation is not for delay alone. You can do it for reverbs. You can do it for any effects that you've put in your mix. Let's try it on our reverb. Let's say you see all of this right here, all of this outro parts, all of this chorus at the end. I want it to have a lot more reverb than the rest of the song. This is what I would do, right? Now that we are done with the delay parts, I would come here and I would pick reverb, right? And then I would automate that. So from here, right? Click on where I want to start and where I want to end. I want all of this part to have such crazy reverberations, right? So this is the normal level of reverberation that we are on. That's around minus 14 dB. And now I've increased this part alone to 0 dB, basically. Like it's too much, it's everything. All of the reverb is here right now. So let's play. Now let's play it from this part so that we can hear how the song sounds before it slowly starts to automate.
If you want it, I can be your muse, your antidote, I'm hitting your blues. It's no your fight to be sober and suffer. It's no your style to look over your shoulder.
You can see that the reverb is basically too much. I mean, it's not needed. This is just an example of how you can use automation in your mix and automation on your delay. There are other ways to emphasize delays in a particular part of the song, but I think this is the best way. It's much easier. All you have to do is just select where you want the delay or whatever effects you're trying to automate be and do it. Easy peasy.
If you want it, I can be your muse, your antidote.
Anyways, to delete this automation, all we have to do is, to deactivate automation, just click back on that and automation is deactivated. But if you want to delete the automation we already made, we'll come on here, right click and delete automation. Same thing for the reverb, since we don't exactly mean it. Though while we are finalizing this mix in the coming episode, we are going to do some things like this, but this is a way to introduce you to the concept of automation and how it can creatively help your mix to be more dynamic and creative. Just tautology, but whatever. And that's it for our reverb and delay class. 5 major things I want you to take home from this class is how to calculate your RT60 to get pre-delay and decay time, how to put your reverb in a send, your reverb and delay in a send, always adding EQ to your reverb and delays to prevent muddiness, how to use automation for your delay and reverb creatively, and how to balance your delay and reverb to ensure that they do not muddy up or drown your mix. See you in the next class where we discuss stereo field, width, and panning in mixing.